live. This is a special Friday edition. I gotta talk about it. Yeah, my weight loss challenge. I'm gonna tell you, I've been on this journey really since the first of the year. Uh, my doctor had talked to me about this way back. He told me I needed to lose the weight. And he said I'm at an age now where I needed to be more conscious than ever about my heart health. Because for a while he said that it looked like my pressure was going up, and it did go up. I think it went to 140, and because the 90 consider 140 elevate risk. And I think it was past that, it was like 140 something. But so I decided to do something about it. I decided to cut back eating a lot of foods. I I cut back eating all that junk. I stopped eating a lot of sugary stuff. Um, I stopped putting cream and sugar in my coffee. I started drinking more fluids, more water. I don't drink a lot. Now, one thing I don't drink a lot of is juice. I don't drink a whole lot of juice. The only juice I drink is cranberry concentrated, diet cranberry. You know, I do drink that. Um, I stopped going eating fast foods. Well, I ain't gonna lie. About a week and a half ago, I went to uh, Chick-fil-A. Had got that new what do they call that new sandwiches out? The honey, oh, I forgot the name of it, but it's really good. It's a really good sandwich with fries. And I had a frozen lemonade drink with that. That was just last week. But I'm gonna say this: it was literally my only meal of that day because I went to my son's house and helped him straighten up a few things at his house, and I almost passed out because I did a 24-hour fasting. But that's another whole story. I get that in a second. But that was the only meal I had. Because even doctors, when I was going to this thing called Persona Doctors years ago, and I lost weight through them too, they told me straight up, if you make once in a while, if you have a taste for something like that, you have to make it your only meal of the day and you don't snack. And it works. I'm telling you, it really works. You know, but that's another whole story. But the main thing is, outside of that, I don't eat no sweets. I don't eat no sugars. I don't eat no breads. I don't eat no candy. I don't drink no sodas. I cut all of that out. I had to. I'm drinking more of the electrolyte drinks, uh, alkaline water, regular water, you know, uh, just a lot of things I made changes on. I eat more soups, more salads. I don't eat a lot of meats. If I do, it's lean meat only. I had a lean grilled chicken in my salad last night. Matter of fact, it was really good. Tore it up. You know, I love Caesar salad. I'm a big Caesar salad fan because the Caesar salad I eat, the the salad has seemed to have a certain amount of density of water in it. I love it. Or romaine lettuce, but I prefer Caesar. My wife like romaine and other stuff. But anyway, it's working for me. Even my wife is doing a separate thing on her own. She's, she got training and everything, so she's doing her own thing. But meanwhile, I'm doing my own thing. I know how to lose weight. I've done it 3 different times over the years. I know how to do it. I started with the Hilton Head diet back in the 90s. I had lost 25 pounds, and people were noticing it. All I did was go by the book. You know, people say, "Oh, that's kind of roughing it, man. You're taking extreme." You're damn right. Sometimes you got to take the stream to lose the weight. Trust me, what I'm telling you right now. It took a lot out of me. It's still taking a lot out of me. But by the grace of God, I'm doing my thing. I'm losing the weight. I'm feeling better. I get more compliments from men. I ain't looking to get from men. Men say, "Yeah, hey, lose the weight." I had a couple guys say, but I said a lot of women telling me that. So I'm getting a noticeable difference. I went from a 3X to a 2X. No joke. I ain't wore 2X in years. Years. Been well over 8, 9 years. I could start wearing some of my old clothes again. I went from a 44 in pants to a 42. The weight's dropping. And it's not about a diet anymore for me. It's a lifestyle change. As you get to a certain age, there's certain things you just can't eat anymore because you can't burn it off like you used to, and you have to switch up. You know, just like this when you go work out, which I got to do sometime today. Do muscle confusion to switch it up so you know that you start in encouraging weight loss. You know, I may actually even gain a little bit of muscle while I'm losing the weight. You know why? Because I mix it up. I do strength training sometimes and I do cardio. Now today I might do more cardio because I need to burn some more weight off. The strength training really is to tone up. The cardio, my wife and I talked about yesterday. The strength training is to do more the tone up. The cardio is to do the burn off. That's strictly what that's for. You can't tone it with cardio. I mean, you probably can, depends on the exercise you do. But for me, I use cardio to burn weight off. I use strength training to do a little both, but I do more of it to tone up, stay toned. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm actually losing the weight. That's all right. I had eight people who was listening just now and it fell off. I can't spell your name, but thank you for signing in triple TP TTT. I appreciate it. So if you hear me out, that's me shouting directly towards you. But I had to lose the weight. I mean, when my doctor told me, hey, you need to do something about this, man, because your pressure ain't seem to be going down. And, as you get older, your heart's going to be working that much harder for you to try to keep it off. Not keep it, what I mean. Basically, your heart's going to be working harder as long as you keep that weight on you. So I had to drop the weight, and high blood pressure and heart disease does run in my family, So I had to do something. I couldn't, I thought about all the things that I went through. Even after one time, I was having mild chest pains at one time, you know, or not real hardship, but they were light, you know. So I said, I got to do something. I don't want to get any worse. And I feel better. I don't get the pains in my chest no more. The weight's dropping. I lost 15 pounds. I want to be here for my grandkids. I want to be here for my wife, man. We got a lot of celebrating to do over the years. You know what I'm saying? And, and you only got one life. You only got one shot at making a difference in your life. One shot. And my one shot is to do it is now. I feel better. I'm happier. I'm healthier. I think better. I walk faster. I look leaner. People noticing it. So I must be doing something right. I talk with better diction than I ever have before. And I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I can tell the difference right now, the way I talk. I got to write speech for church this weekend anyway. Well, actually, this was a couple weekends. So there's a lot of things going on that makes a difference when you lose weight. It really, 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 really does. I got another DJ gig coming up, so I know I got to be ready now. It's just a lot of good things behind when you lose a weight for weight loss. But you don't want to say, okay, this is just a diet. It's a lifestyle change. I don't no longer want to be eating the same stuff no more, no way, because most of that stuff is toxic. Sugars are definitely toxic for you. Well, I tried to drink coffee with creamer and sugar, and although it does taste good, but it makes my stomach feel bad, especially with the creamer. And the sugar don't help if you drink it black. I mean, I don't have a problem drinking it straight black. It's antioxidant. It's better, and it actually flushes you out. You know what I mean? So it's actually better for you when you drink it straight with no creamer or sugar. And sugar is bad for you anyway. I mean, all that. I mean, I cut all that sugar out. Sugar, you can get the little. It revs you up, but it crashes you hard. It does, and that's why I like. Don't need it. Don't need it at all. Yesterday, I never felt better. Ate my egg and my apple. I eat a Granny Smith apple. It's like a greenish red, but it's not too sour, but it's plenty. It's juicy as I don't know what. I get full off of that. I got full off of it yesterday. I didn't eat anything till, matter of fact, I didn't even eat, I skipped lunch. I don't remember eating lunch, matter of fact, I ate lunch yesterday. I'm trying to think. I think I did. I actually don't remember. What add a Q&A sticker? I don't know what they mean by that. What's a Q&A sticker? Let's see. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna do this Q&A sticker. If you, let's see, I'm gonna say if you could lose weight, how much would you lose? Oh, I'm gonna try this. Would you lose? Yeah, this ain't working for me. I tried it. Okay. There's a drag here to in Q&A. I might have to because it ain't working. If you could lose weight, how much would you lose? Okay, no one's responding to it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll drag it out. It ain't working. But anyway, all I'm saying is you can do it. I mean, one of the things that they were talking about in several videos I watched was intermittent fasting. It's something I've been doing off and on for a while throughout my weight loss journey. And it works. It really, 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 really works, folks. And no one can ever say it don't work. It does work. I've done it. I've tried it. I've been successful at it. And you have to start off kind of slow. Right now, I'm trying to go for a 16-8, which means uh, 16 hours, and then you have to eat within 8 hours after that, which would be 24 hours. So in other words, it'd be one meal in 24 hours. It's going to be a tough one, but I don't know if I can. I mean, I probably can do it because I hadn't eaten anything since 6 o'clock last night. But then after I ate my salad last night, about 4.5 hours later, I was back on. I had to push. I had to drop it off. You know what I mean? So it ran right through me basically. But the good thing is the weight loss journey is working. But this time I plan on not making it just a journey to lose weight, but a journey to maintain the lifestyle. A, 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 you know, a weight loss lifestyle. Work out a few days a week and eat right. It can be done. My mother, now I will say this. My mother, Merle Effie 19, no, I don't know what you mean by no. Merle Effie 1903, yo, what's up, bro? What's up? How you doing? Just talking about weight loss and keeping your weight down. Now, I'll say this, and I'm going to be very honest. When you lose the weight, or if you're trying to do any kind of weight loss training exercise, please, by all means, consult your doctor. Good morning. Please, by all means, talk to your doctor, man. Don't sit there and try to induce into a weight loss journey unless you know what you're going into without, and don't go in there without talking to your doctor first. Because I talk to my doctor all the time. My doctor actually encourages me, and he's the reason why I'm doing what I've been doing. I've been through a couple of weight loss journeys over the years, but this one is the one I'm taking really seriously because I'm not getting any younger. I'm getting older, and I need to keep the weight off of me for better health. I was watching videos, a couple of YouTube videos recently, maybe about a month and a half ago. You had guys 60, 61, 59, 58, 70, 71, and 83 working out more ripped than I ever dreamed about for my age. you know. And then one guy said it took him years to really get ripped the way he wanted to, but they're in good shape. They're minimalists. They don't eat that much. My mother, 82. Think about it. 82. For all the stuff I went through growing up at home. God bless her. I give her credit. She's maintained weight loss her entire life. She has never gained more than 150 pounds since I've been born. That is no joke. I can attest to that personally. She's always had a slim build. Always. Probably the only one in the family that actually maintained a slim build. My dad kind of was like that too. He gained a little bit of weight, not a whole lot of weight before he passed, but he was never really that big either, to be honest. And that's mainly because he was the same way. He kind of like was a minimalist on eating food, and he ate, or tried to eat as proper as possible. Well, sometimes he didn't, but he kind of was active. And my mother is semi-active now, but the thing of it is, she eats like a bird. She eats at different times of the day. And for a while, even up to recently, I didn't understand, well, why is she eating these crazy offbeat hours? Because she eats when she's hungry. And I'm learning the same thing, even at my age. I got to eat when I'm hungry. Like right now. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did yesterday. It's no joke. I had a boiled egg and an apple. Nice size, juicy, reddish, greenish apple. Not a solid red apple, not a solid green, although I recommend the greens. Apples actually a little sour, but they're juicy, and there's plenty of vitamins in that joint. Probably more, and not as sweet, which is why I would recommend green apples. But on mine, are reddish greenish. It's a little bit of both. It gives you a little bit of tart, but it's juicy and it does have a little bit of sweetness to it. And I eat that for breakfast, along with water or electrolyte water. This is yesterday. I usually do it every day anyway. I skipped a couple days. Now that was on me, but then I didn't cheat though. But anyway, I didn't have lunch at all yesterday, and then came home after I worked out for about an hour and a half. Came home, ate a salad with grilled chicken. I put a little grilled chicken in, put a little, salad dressing on it. Tore it up. Had a little nuts in it. Cleared out, ran right through me before I went to bed. Now here it is, 13 and a half hours later. I'm not even hungry. I need to drink some water, some electrolytes, but I'm not even hungry. Honest to God, I'm not hungry. My stomach gave me growling. I laid in the bed for a while. Yeah, this was my off day. But I laid in the bed for a while. And now I'm ready to go work out. Now, I had an uncle of mine years ago, because he lived well into his 80s. And back in the day, he would eat a rotten egg. Not rotten, I swear, I take that back. He ate an egg, raw egg, mix it up. And I've done that too. Yeah, but raw egg, I don't even remember what he mixed it up with. I think he ate it with, he may have mixed it with cod liver oil or something like that. But he used to drink cod liver oil like it was going on style. Kept him healthy. Cleared him out. Skinny as I don't know what. Stay slim. Some of these old folks know what they're talking about. I'll tell you right now. Real talk. Even my mother, even though we have some clash on certain things, but still, I'm trying to follow that trend. I want to get my health right, and so far it's working. The pounds are dropping, 15 pounds in almost 4 months. Well, yeah, almost about 3.5 months almost since April. Okay, my doctor reported I had lost 8 pounds, and I lost another 7 right behind that. I went for 2 shirt sizes and 2 pant sizes. Okay. That's amazing to me. People are actually noticing I'm losing weight. And sometimes that's all it takes, 15, 20, 30 pounds to lose, and you change your whole life for the better. And you're eating right, and you're looking right, and you're able, to extend your life right. Now, what Tamar used to say, Tamar Braxton used to say all the time, and I agree with that. That's kind of my mom. Get your life right. You know what? She may be a lot of things, but one thing I give her credit for is that phrase she says, "Get your life right." But fasting is something I think is something that you can incorporate in your uh you know routine and make it a kind of a daily routine because really our bodies aren't meant to eat all that stuff anyway. To be honest, folks, your body's only meant to have a certain amount of food in it. Seriously, and not only just a certain amount, but a specific type of food you need to be having in your system. You know, real talk, real talk. You only have to have a certain amount of food in your system because the bodies aren't meant. We're not meant to consume a large quantities of food in one time anyway. Not even if it's 4 or 5 times a day. Like in other words, if you try to eat small food and just the stuff and we're not even meant to eat all day either. On top of that, some people do. There are people that actually do that. Eat they eat breakfast, a big hearty breakfast. They sit down, they eat a snack about an hour later, and they snack again. Then they eat a big lunch. They go home and be a big dinner. Don't work out. You know, our bodies, and I'm learning my body better than I've ever had before. I can only eat for so much. Like I'm gonna tell you what I did the other day for Fourth. I cooked my kids. My kids came home to visit me over the weekend, right? So I told them, I said, when you come over, I'm gonna have a little spread, some chips, some. We didn't do ribs. I should have did ribs. I don't. I think no, my wife. I think my wife did. She did do ribs. She did ribs. I did hot dogs and uh turkey turkey burgers on the grill. Told them up. I had some left over from Monday. I ate 2 hot dogs and double A potato salad with the bread. That was kind of pretty much I had for the whole day, other than soup for lunch, and I had a boiled egg and apple for breakfast. Man, why did I not feel right for almost 3 days? Seriously, that one meal that I had Monday night, which consists of bread and hot dogs, and then before that I had a couple of burgers the day before. My system didn't feel right. Automatically, it went to shock. And now I know why, because I had no business eating all that. That's a prime example. You know, our bodies ain't meant to consume a large quantity of food. And in some cases, not even a lot of bread. Not even bread, really. Because bread, I mean, if you eat bread is a separate meal on its own. I found that out too. Bread is actually a separate meal from everything else. We eat bread with sandwiches, make sandwiches and stuff like that. But to be honest, bread is a separate meal because it's dense, like meats. Most meats are like that. You know. Now you can eat a lean meat by itself. It's not bread. It's no grain. It's just all vegetable. You know, you can eat it with that. I love eating salads. There was a time where I hated eating salads when I was young, in my teens and 20s. And my mother used to eat them all the time back then. She said, "Boy, you better start eating salad." So, Subway, Subway back in the day is nothing like what it is now. Now they got all kind of sandwiches and stuff, and salads and stuff like that. They didn't even serve salad. Only thing they had served at Subway when I was going in back in the 80s was cold cuts, sandwiches, party plans. That's all they did. And subs, regular subs, just the regular cold cut sub. They didn't do all that what they're doing now. They really revolutionized themselves over the years. I give them that. But I don't even eat Subway like that anymore. And I love Subway because I get to a point, I get a half a foot long. I think that ain't enough. I get a whole foot long and eat it all the same day. That ain't good for you either. That's what I mean by our bodies aren't meant to eat all that, consume a large quantity of food. Albeit in one time or any other time in between. We have to eat smaller portions, folks. That's what helps you burn the fat. Not eating large quantities of food and then stop. That ain't helping. Trust me, I tried it. I just tried it a few days ago. That don't work like that. We have to actually be mindful of what we put in our systems at all times, man. Got to. Especially for some of us who having a hard time losing weight. That's why some of us have a hard time of losing weight because we don't learn to properly eat the food that we need to eat when we need to eat it. I'm telling you, real talk. We have to really be consistent about what we eat, how we eat, and when we eat it. And until we learn that, you're going to have a hard time losing weight, my friends. Hard time. Stick to a simple plan. Your egg is your protein. All right? Your apple, and I recommend apple because apple, I think one apple and an egg, for me, I'm usually full for the next 6 hours. At least six, well, yeah, 6 hours at a minimum. Some people are like, oh, I can, and drink water. At least a bottle or two. You know, I just bought a new water bottle. It's coming in tomorrow. That I'm specifically going to use for work and at gym. And I might get a second one to put in my bag, for work or whatever. But we have to learn to eat sparingly. We have to learn that our bodies can't eat but so much food in a day, let alone in a session. Got to learn to eat portion-sized meals. We got to learn to cut back on sugars and sweets and breads and fatty meats and sandwiches. Just completely, for the most part, cut it. Just cut it. As much and as often as you need to. That's going to help you lose the weight. Now, I will say this. I've been on Nutrisystems before. I've been on Hilton Head. They do work. You got to stick to them. The problem with Nutrisystems is not that it don't work. And not that because they give you portion-sized meals. Very portion-sized meals. That's what also helps you lose weight. Nutrisystems is expensive as I don't know what, man. That's why I started using it. I used it for about a couple of months. Now, and then when I went to Persona Doctors, I dropped it because Persona Doctors actually helped me lose weight even faster. I lost the weight Persona Doctors quicker than I did with Nutrisystems. Now, Nutrisystems, I did lose 20 pounds with Nutrisystems. I also walked every day, too. That's also a help. I wasn't even going to the gym. 20 pounds by going to the gym. Walking. Walking itself is the ultimate. Trust when I'm saying this. It's the ultimate way to lose weight and lose fast because you're working every part of your body. Trust and believe that. 30 minutes a day, and even if it's just a couple of days a week. Because I remember I was doing it for a few weekends. Like I would go on Saturdays. When I didn't have a chance to do it, when I didn't have a chance to go to the gym, I would literally go and walk with my wife, go around there, but walk for about a good 35 minutes. And trust and believe when I tell you this, I actually lost the weight. I lost like 15, 20 pounds within a few weeks. Just walking. I know y'all probably said, oh, ain't no way. I said, oh yeah. Weigh. Weigh, when I say weigh, I mean we weigh is, yes, you can lose that weight. Yes, you can lose that weight. Trust what I'm telling you right now. I'm not saying this for hyperbole. I'm not saying it's a joke. I'm saying it's a fact. The weight will drop. But it ain't going to be just walking alone. You have to make it a lifestyle change. You have to make it something permanent, not just something that's temporary. See, we tend to like to do stuff that we think is going to get us a quick fix, and then we just stop doing it. No. That's, you have to go beyond just doing it for just losing weight for a wedding or something like that. You have to have bigger goals. That's the problem with a lot of people who get on these weight loss challenges. That go for people who do the gastro, because I know some people right now who've done gastro bypass and then they slip back because they think the gastro bypass, they stop eating, They lose the weight, but then they get the cravings again, and before you know it, they back eating the regular same stuff they was eating before they lost the weight, and then the gastro don't work for them anymore. The gastro is a way that's supposed to help them maintain the weight loss, but you have to have a mindset for it. I know two or three people who actually was had did the gastro and it worked, and then it didn't work because of their mindset. You know, that's why when you watch my 600 pound life with Dr. Niles, and he always say, "Well, I need you to lose this much weight, and then we'll see about surgery." It's not that he can't do the surgery on you, but he don't want to risk doing the surgery on you and you hadn't lost the weight and make create complications. That's why he have you try to lose about 50 pounds, and he wants you to get on the lifestyle so your body get used to losing weight. That's why he does before he gets cutting on you. And some people just think, oh, I can bypass it. I know what I'm doing, and they don't know what they're doing. And then what tripped me out, them people always when they go see Dr. Nas after they supposedly lost the weight, they'll eat about 30 pounds of food before they get to before they get to see him. I'm gonna make a stop. I've seen some of them, two, three stops. I said, are you serious? No, 600 Pound Life was one of my favorite shows, man. But it encouraged me to lose weight too. That was one of the shows that actually got me started doing it. That and The Biggest Loser. I know y'all remember Biggest Loser. But A Biggest Loser had a lot of issues behind the scenes I heard over the years. I've heard. And some I've actually seen documentaries on, but that's another story. Um, but it's all up to you. It's all up to your willpower. You know, just think about what I said. But like I said, before you get on any weight loss journey, consult your doctor or physician so that they can help you set the tempo for what you need to do for your weight loss journey. Before you get on any type of diet, including fasting, because it may be something that you may be missing out on if you do something that you don't need to be doing. Because I strongly recommend that. That's what I did. That's what I'm doing. What I'm doing now. Because I did see a doctor about it. My doctor actually tried to discourage me from eating meats altogether, which I don't eat a lot of meat. I don't eat a lot of meats now, to tell you the truth. You know, sometimes I do. For the protein. Because I actually go to the gym. But most of the time, I don't eat a lot of meat anyway. I cut a lot of that out. But beyond that, I'm good. So good luck with your weight loss, guys. I mean, if you have anything you want to talk about, hit me up in the comment section regarding that. Um, I might have some ideas for you. I'm not a weight loss expert. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a trainer. I'm just somebody who actually take the time to lose weight, and I know I have had experience losing weight myself. One time I've lost up to 60 pounds. I'm trying to get back close to that again as much as possible. I lost 15. I got 45 to go. So 45 more pounds. I would have met my weight loss journey, but it's going to take a whole lot. Actually, I'm supposed to be, they said for somebody my size, I'm supposed to be down to about I think between 160, they said 169 and 175, something like that. And I haven't been that small since the 1980s. No joke. You know. So we'll see. This is DJ Wolf saying good luck to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the likes. Bring them lights up, y'all. Keep listening, man. I got more to talk about on the back burner. I'm out.